Cool, we're live. Hey everyone, we're joined here by Eric, the CTO of LivePeer, a gold sponsor of Web3Con 2022, and I will leave it to you to take it away.
All right, thanks everybody. I'm Eric Tang, and I'm the co-founder and CTO at LivePeer. I've already given a little bit of a high-level overview of Web3 video earlier during the conference Web3Con. So I highly recommend if you're interested in kind of video streaming and Web3, definitely go check out that talk that I gave. Where I highlighted some of the opportunities, some of the trends that we're seeing, and also gave an overview of the tools that give an overview of the tools that we provide. Today, I'm going to go into more details just on the tools. So this is very much like a technical coding workshop. So if you're hacking on a project, I think this is a good session to be at. The other thing that I would say is that if you have questions, just type in the comments chat as we are going through the workshop, and we'll stop kind of in the middle of the workshop to answer any questions that you have. But since there's there's a little bit of a delay, we're not going to do the Q&A. We're not going to be able to do the Q&A in real time, which is totally fine. Okay, so let me just share my screen and we can get on with the workshop. Cool. All right, so today, we'll spend most of the time doing demos, and then we'll do a little Q&A, and then have some background information, share some background knowledge if we have time at the end, but it's not required, right? So a little bit about LivePeer, if you don't know us already. LivePeer is building the Web3 streaming layer to enable kind of video streaming services and video streaming features within the Web3 ecosystem. And what that means is, as a developer, you can use LivePeer to build Web3-centric video applications. So what does that really mean, right? So there are a couple tools that I'll go over today. The first is a video live streaming tool that allows you to build a Twitch style or a Facebook Live style application, or a YouTube Live style application where you're watching this video right now. And the next thing that I will go over is a tool that allows you to create a video NFT, right? So this is if you have a video file and you want to create an NFT from that video file, you can use this tool to do that in an effective way. So let's go get on with the demo. First, let's take a look at the live streaming demo. So there's a really easy to use kind of gateway API service that we've created on top of the LivePeer network. So if you go to livepeer.com, you will see that you can log in and sign up with an email, and then after that, you'll land on this dashboard. So our goal is to create a stream live right now, and then and show you kind of how you can embed those experiences into the application that you're building to create like a Twitch style app. So we're going to go into streams. We see I already have a test stream created, but for the sake of this demo, I just create a new stream, and I'll call it Web3Con Rocks. So I created this stream. We see that this stream is not active right now, but we see some information here. Interesting information to keep track. There's a stream ID, there's a stream key, and then an RTMP ingest URL. Right. So what we're essentially doing is we're ingesting a video live stream into the RTMP ingest point using the stream key, which represents kind of the authentication information for this specific stream, right? And this is oftentimes, the information that, a Twitch streamer would use in order to stream into Twitch, right? Just a side note, LivePeer also supports SRT, which is just another video streaming protocol. It's very similar to RTMP, but it's a newer protocol that's more resilient to kind of network bandwidth fluctuation. So what we can do here is we can open up a broadcasting software like OBS to stream. But we've created another tool that allows you to do that more easily because as you're building these applications, sometimes you don't want to have to require your users who are broadcasting videos to then download another broadcasting tool. Instead, what you want is to enable them to broadcast their camera directly from within the browser, right? So there's not an easy tool to do that right now. So we created one for you called Web RTMP, right? And it's kind of an in-browser version of the RTMP broadcasting experience. This is an SDK that you can use. It actually includes a JavaScript front end and a back end that you can operate. Here we have some examples to show you how it works. So here you can actually go to like the code pen, and you can, here's all the embedded code that you need in order to start broadcasting. So this is how you would do it. Another thing I want to show you guys is an application that we built using this SDK called Just Cast It. It's super simple. If I go to justcast.it, you see that this is already kind of my face, and all I need is to copy my stream key here, and note that you should keep the stream key secret and make sure that your broadcasters keep the stream key secret, because it allows anybody to broadcast into like this specific stream or this specific channel, right? So the shorthand to broadcast through this specific tool is to just do this /2. And then now when I press broadcast, I am live from within my browser, right? It's that easy. So I can go back here and I can take a look and I see that myself is live. And so this is interesting because it allows us to broadcast this one stream to a large number of viewers. May it be 10, 100, 1,000, tens of thousands, right? You can have a virtually unlimited number of viewers watching this stream. So let me. So you may say, okay, how do I use this video stream, right? So one thing that you can do is to embed this video stream into an application. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you need to do is you need to find, usually embed like a open source video player into your application. There are many open source video players out there. So I just searched for one in CodePen. So this one is HLS.js, which is a very popular one, and it has this nice skin over called Plier. This is a nice open source video player that someone made. So this is the CodePen version, right? So what we see over here is we see just pretty simple JavaScript on the right-hand side. The important part is here we see this HLS.load source, and this is the source of the video that we want to load, right? So in here, we have this playback URL, and that specifies the source. So I can copy this. I can paste this source over here, and this should rebuild the player. Now, see, we're already started playing the video, right? So this is very simple, right? You can copy this. I need to mute this. So anybody can just copy this video player code into their application, and they can they can start playing back the video, right? So, with these two experiences, right? One, the broadcasting experience, one, the playback experience, you can start to put together a video live streaming application, right? And so, what are some of the tools that can be built within using this application, using these experiences, right? One is, now you kind of have the core building blocks for a Twitch style experience, right? Live streaming and live broadcasting and viewing the live stream. You can add, for example, a live chat next to it, and there's a really nice open source project called Supabase, and here we can go to they have a nice chat example where you can just go. This is an open source repo, of course, and you can go there. I can start easily adding this chat experience into my live streaming app, and now you have kind of video streaming plus chat on the side. So that's a nice thing to add. But how does this relate to Web3, right? Well, one of the things that you can do is you can do token gating with this, right? So the idea is that I want, as a creator, maybe I am selling, I'm distributing my NFTs to my communities, my fans, right? And I want to create a exclusive live broadcast for this audience, for the people, only for the people who hold the NFTs that I have, right? I can build this type of experience into using a token gating feature from a protocol like Unlock or Lit or something like that. Cool. So that is the video streaming experience. So one thing to note about this broadcast tool is that the broadcasting tool in the browsers have some limitations, and one of the biggest limitation is the video quality, right? Because the browser can only get to a certain amount, certain finite degree of quality. So if you want kind of a more professional quality, for example, if the creator has like a nice camera and a good setup at home, and like the quality of the video really matters for their community, and then the better way to do it is through a broadcasting software like OBS, right? So here I'm opening my OBS Studio. It's for completely open source, right? And here you can kind of use this tool to produce. And the way to broadcast is simply by copy and pasting your stream key here, into this OBS Studio, and I will click OK and start streaming. And again, in a little bit, we'll see this video going live in my LivePeer stream, right? So in the LivePeer infrastructure, kind of handles the ingesting, the repackaging, the transcoding, all the important aspects of the live streaming. So give me 1 second. Okay, now we have this live. And you might not be able to see this clearly in this rebroadcast, but the video quality here, can be much higher, right? Cool. So that is for live streams. Now let's go over to another use case and talk about NFTs. So this is another use case. For example, if you wanted to use 1 second. If you have a video file and you want to use that video file to create an NFT, right? Just to know that you can already do that today with something like an OpenSea, but there's a lot of limitations around how NFTs, video-based NFTs work today, right? For example, you have a 100 megabyte limit on OpenSea, which means the length of your video is going to be, I'd say, no more than 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the quality, right? If you have like a HD video, then 100 megabytes really doesn't get you that that long of a video length. If you have like a 720p or 480p video, maybe it's a little longer. But LivePeer allows you to do create much more robust video NFTs. For example, it will transcode the video for you using the LivePeer network, and that means it optimizes the video for online streaming, and at the same time, it'll also pin the video for you in IPFS and things like that. So it just gives you this nice packaged experience. So to do that is really simple. The first thing that we would do is we would kind of export our developer key and API key. So like all of the tools that we've seen so far today, including this live streaming experience, is also it's built using the LivePeer API, right? So you can actually go to livepeer.com and go to /docs, and here is some good tutorials in terms of and teaches you on how to use the API to build an application using LivePeer. But here, what we're looking at is we want to copy the API key over. We see that we already have created an API key, so I'm going to click on this, copy this over, and I'm going to export it into my environment. Right. So now my environment has the API key. The second thing that I'll do is I'll pick a video that I want to mint, that I want to use to mint an NFT. Right. So I already have one picked out. I think it's here. It's kind of a nice waterfall video. Right. It's just a waterfall. Really beautiful. Yeah, so the way I just played it is using FFplay, but you can actually use any player to play this MP4 video, right? It's just MP4 video. Now, what I'm going to do is to use this LivePeer NFT package, and it's an npm package already. You can just do npx and execute this thing, and use the video that you want to and select the video that you want to use to mint the NFT. So now what I'm doing is it's downloading and installing this npm package. It's installed it. It started to upload the video into LivePeer. I think this video is around 30-40 megs, so it takes a few seconds to completely upload it. Once it's uploaded, it's going to process the video, optimize it for streaming, and after that, it's going to give us a metadata block back that just makes it ready for kind of NFT minting, right? Because oftentimes we hear people have some pain points around kind of formatting the metadata to the right format. So now we see that it's processing, it's finished processing. Now it's export has completed, and here's the result that we get, right? So let's take a look at this result. What do we have? We have the video file CID, which is an IPFS CID. We have the NFT metadata CID, which is the metadata that we'll need to mint either a ERC 721 or a ERC 1155 NFT. And then we also have these kind of URLs, right? So let's take a look at what this URL represents. This is the metadata gateway URL, right? So we can do curl this URL, and we see, oh, this is what's included in that metadata URL, right? So we have the animation URL, which is what's being used to mint to specify the video location. And this should match the video file CID, as we see here. It matches. We have the description of the video NFT, right? We have the cover image of the video NFT. I think this is a default one. And then we have the name, and then we have kind of the properties. I want to note that all of these fields are completely customizable, and we have a good tutorial on to show you on how to do that. and that tutorial is in the Hacker Quick Start Guide, which I'll just show you really quickly. It's over here. The Hacker Quick Start Guide should be available for all the hackers. And this tutorial here kind of shows you how to mint the video NFT. Okay, so going back here, we took a look at the NFT metadata, right? And this is also kind of coincidentally the URL that we can use to as our token URI for the NFT itself, right? So all we need to do now is all we have to do now is to upload to submit an Ethereum transaction to any ERC 721 or ERC 1155 contract to mint this NFT, right? So what I will do is I will come here and show you guys kind of how this minting works. If you've already done this before, this should be pretty familiar. So what I'm doing is I have this Alchemy kind of like provider for my Ethereum data, right? And then I have here a smart contract ABI, and we can take a look at the smart contract event. This was deployed by me, and it's really simple. The ERC 721 token contract that just has a mint feature, right? And it'll basically mint the NFT for me. So now here I'm calling this mint function, right? Creating the transaction, and then I'm submitting that transaction, and I'll get the transaction confirmation back later. So here the token URI is the parameter. So I'm just gonna use this token URI that we used before, right? Which is here. I'll just copy this over to mint the NFT, and now I can just call this. I can call this function by doing node scripts, and I think mint NFT is the file. Okay. So now I'm calling this. I'm calling this function. It'll take a little while to confirm. This is connected to the Rinkeby testnet on Ethereum. But of course, you can also do this on any other testnet, or you can use it on Polygon, something like that. Okay, our transaction just finished. Let's take a look at, we have this transaction hash over here. We can go to the Rinkeby Etherscan. We can come here and take a look at this transaction. Looks like it's still being processed, but we did get the confirmation here. So what we can do is we can go try to look at this contract address, right? This contract. We're going to look at this contract address. We see that, oh, this transaction indeed has been mined and confirmed. And we can even see, oh yeah, we can even go here and I think interact with the contract. And we can take a look at the owner of token. I think, what was the maybe it's 5. There's 6. Yeah, it's 5. Okay, we see that the owner is this address that we used, and we can also go to the token URI to look at this. This was indeed the token URI that we used in here. So now it's on the Ethereum blockchain. Another cool thing that we can do is to go to the OpenSea testnet version. So I will copy using this. I can actually see the NFT that's been minted. So I think the ID is 5. I'm going to go here and take a look at this. Oh, here I see the video NFT indeed has been minted. So yeah, here are, so these are the two demos that I wanted to show. I want to take a break right now and see if there's been any questions so far. All right, lots of questions. Does LivePeer offer clipping for a live stream while it's still streaming? That's a really good question. We currently don't have clipping right now, but it's being worked on. The thing that you can do though is you can record a stream. So let me just go here and show you in the streams tab. There's a record sessions option. You can turn this on, and that means all the you can turn this on, and it means all the following sessions will be recorded, and there will be a recording URL when the sessions are finished. And of course, you can also control this all through the API. So after you record the stream, you can download the stream and then clip it. We'll also be launching a clipping feature in the next few months. All right. Another question. What's the max streaming quality setting for the output? 1080p 60? Yeah, so we can do 1080 60 for sure. We can also do 4K 30. So that means 4K 30 frames per second. So that works well. LivePeer should make their own OBS. Yes. In fact, there could be a short path maybe is to make a OBS plugin that allows people to stream directly from OBS into the LivePeer network. That could be a bounty that people work on. Is there some sort of Pope integration? I'm not sure what this means exactly. I'm guessing it's for giving people a Pope when they're watching a stream. And I think this can be another cool hack idea, right? And the way you would do that is in the viewing experience, allow people to authenticate their MetaMask, and once it's authenticated and the application knows that the user indeed is watching the stream, you can decide to drop people a Pope if you wanted to, right? You can even set the minimum length of the viewing session before you can drop a Pope, right? So those are all kind of cool ideas that would love to see. Are the native webhooks example at 5-minute mark? I'm not quite sure what this means, but yeah, I think we do have webhooks. I can show you here, so you can set up a webhook. I can create a webhook, and in the webhook, if we go here, I think we have some. Yeah, using the webhooks, right? We have some documentation around this, and we list out kind of all the events that you can get from the webhook, right? So we can get, we can get the call when the stream starts, when the stream becomes idle, when the recording becomes ready, and things like that. So just to mention multi-stream, right? Multi-stream basically means you can stream a video into LivePeer and tell LivePeer to then restream that video into many locations at once, right? So for example, you can say, I want to build my own live streaming app, but I also want to allow my users to stream into my app and at the same time into Twitch and Facebook Live and YouTube Live or all these other places. And this is the feature to use to make sure you can kind of fan out that one stream. Cool. Can your token gate be based on ERC20 or certain amounts hold? Absolutely. So I think there's already token gating protocols that support this. So I think protocols are like Unlock that support it, and of course you can also build your own experience that does this. Right. Cool. Okay, so that's the end of this. So if you have any more questions, feel free to send in those questions. now I can share a little bit about how video streaming actually works and how LivePeer works in the backend for people who are interested to learn more about that. Okay, so what happened there, right? Like, what did we do from an architecture perspective in this live streaming case? Well, we had a broadcaster, which was me, right? My camera, my webcam, sending a RTMP video stream. That's just a live stream into a media server / transcoder, right? So the media server and transcoder is receiving the stream, is transcoding that video. It's really the transcoding step is actually really important here because in order for me to broadcast my video to all different devices in all different locations with any kind of network capability, even though people think they're watching the same stream, they're actually watching different versions of the streams, right? So we talked about 1080p or 4K or 720p or 480p, right? So they're actually different video streams with different sizes, even though they look the same, right? So we use HLS or Dash as the streaming format to take care of that. So for example, we can go in here and if I start my stream back up, we can actually take a look at what the HLS format looks like. I'll go back here. I'll look at my stream. This one is active. This is the stream that we just have active. So if I curl this, we'll see that there's actually different versions of the same video stream, right? So I'm streaming in with 1080p, so 1920 by 1080. So this is one of the streams, but there's also 720p, 480p, 360p, and whatnot, right? In fact, I can even curl into one of these and say, give me this specific stream, right? So now I'm getting video segments that are related to this specific version. We'll see it's 4 seconds per each segment. If I wanted to, I can even play this specific segment, right? So now this is a 4-second video clip. Okay, so that's kind of how video streaming, live streaming works on the high level, right? So we see that things are usually delivered. The video is usually delivered via CDN that can get delivered then to a phone, a laptop, TV, IoT devices, whatnot. At the same time, this media server also handles integration with cloud storage, right? So, for example, if you wanted to store if you want to record the video, that's how it's done. Or even if you wanted to add DRM or do any kind of ad insertion, something like that, that's usually also handled here. So this is how traditionally video streaming works, right? In the decentralized world or in the LivePeer world, this looks very similar, except now all the complicated video processing and streaming part is handled by this open video network. That's the LivePeer network, right? So I still stream the RTMP video in. It streams into an ingest point in the on the LivePeer network, which also happens to be a hosted media server, right? And that media server kind of handles all the processing. The LivePeer network handles all the transcoding, and then that video can get delivered still via HLS to the applications, so that for the developer, right? Developers don't need to change anything in terms of how the application works. They can just swap in the LivePeer network and still just make sure everything else continues to work. A little bit about how this network works, right? When we're streaming in video, whether it's through a phone or camera or whatever, video is being transcoded, and as the video is being transcoded by these transcoders on the network, there's Ethereum-based micropayments being streamed into the LivePeer protocol as well. So the video transcoding is actually being paid in real time, and there's a settlement layer that allows the transcoders to asynchronously take out batch up the payments, and then only cash out when they have to. So all of that is asynchronous, and the video streaming processing doesn't touch the blockchain at all. And the way the network is set up is that any orchestrator or anybody who wants to transcode video, that's how we call them, an orchestrator. Any orchestrator can decide to join the network simply by running the LivePeer open source software, a LivePeer node, and they will send a transaction into the Ethereum blockchain. Well, now it's on Arbitrum, into Arbitrum, and let's say, hey, I want to be a transcoder, I want to be an orchestrator, and here is the service URL that I have to process people's video. Once that happens, they are in this service registry. And when a broadcaster comes by, right, when someone, when the application developer is sending video into these broadcasters, the broadcaster makes a deposit on chain to ensure that, hey, I actually have money to pay for transcoding. Then the broadcaster goes through a discovery protocol to understand from this whole list of global registry orchestrators, which one is close to them. And the broadcaster starts working with these orchestrators to transcode video in real time, right? And of course, the network assumes that any orchestrator can turn off at any point. So the broadcaster is always working with multiple orchestrators, right? So in case one is down, it can very quickly just fall over to the next one and not affect the end-to-end user, end-to-end video streaming experience at all. Cool. That's a little bit about LivePeer on the very high level. I'm gonna stop sharing right now and see if there's any more no more questions. Let's see. Whitelist as an external URL. Does that plug in like a turnkey solution for gating? I'm not quite sure what this question is about. Whitelist as an external URL. I think what you're asking is whether token gating comes supported out of the box. And the answer is currently it's not. And the way you do it is you kind of bake that into your front end application, right? And that's why using a protocol like Unlock or Lit is pretty good. It's because you can just kind of specify URL for the actual viewer the viewing page, right? And then use the lock to lock that URI, right? So people would have to kind of pay or to have the lock in order to unlock that URI. But in the future, we're going to make this integration more native for sure. Is there any common pitfalls folks should look out for, or tips for beginners to get started? Yeah, that's a really good question. So I would say if you're a beginner, I would highly recommend checking out the LivePeer docs. So if I go here, there's a getting started tutorial. This is a really good place to get started for people who are building a live streaming application for the very first time, and it has a pretty good guide. To help you go through the application building process. I would say I can talk about some common misconceptions. One of the things that sometimes people assume is that this live broadcasting is similar to like getting on a Zoom call or getting on a Google Hangouts call in terms of a latency, and that's actually not the case. this is just a trade-off, right? Zoom or Google Hangouts has a limitation in terms of how many people can be in the same session watching the stream. And it also has a limitation around kind of the video quality that you can get as a viewer, right? But the benefit that you get is that you have almost near real time kind of interaction, right? So you can actually have like a teleconferencing style experience versus video live streaming or like online broadcasting is more of a one-to-many or one-to-many experience where it's kind of a one-way video broadcast. The latency is usually anywhere between 8 to 12 or 14 seconds to kind of end-to-end, right? LivePeer is working on a solution that will lower that latency down to anywhere between 4 to 6 seconds. And we plan to, it's called LLHLS, right? It's the new app or low latency standard that's still kind of being worked on by the community, but we're working on that in the back end, and we hope to launch it pretty soon. Okay, so some other questions. Are you transcoding this live video using the LivePeer network? Absolutely, yeah. So this is the whole point, right? So this LivePeer gateway is built on top of the LivePeer network, and I can actually see here in this stream health dashboard, right? This stream is being transcoded by this orchestrator, EWR prod LivePeer orchestrator 0. Yeah, so that's all being transcoded in real time. Cool. Okay. I think I will stop here unless anybody have any more questions. And of course, if you have any questions at all, if you're watching this, watching the VOD version, you can always come visit our Discord channel. Our hacker support team will be there helping everybody. Yeah, we'd love to talk to you about your hack. Thank you. Oh, I see another question here. Career opportunity currently available at LivePeer. Good call. Let me share my screen again, and just to show you guys what are the open roles at LivePeer. LivePeer.com/jobs. This is where all the open roles are. As you can see, we are hiring across engineering, design, community, marketing, operations, right? Lots of open roles. So I highly recommend checking out this page if you're interested to learn more about LivePeer and potentially work with us. All right, thank you.